Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the 600 euro Terhi project. We are back in the workshop because the rain is pouring down out there, and I have learned a few things about these Terhi boats. They are made in ABS plastic. I already mentioned that, and as you can see here, all along this side here, the floor is cracked. Under the floor it's a foam, so that would be used as a floating device if the boat sinks. And it's also cracked up here in the front, and they tried to repair it with some kind of filler or something. I don't know what it is, but as soon as the water gets into the boat, which it obviously does when it rains or whatever, the rain goes through these cracks and into the foam. So I'm going to drill a hole in front of the battery there and hope that the water will drain out of the foam. So I'm going to drill a hole or use a jigsaw to saw a hole. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway, and I will put in this hatch. Okay, so that's where it's going to be. I took the slightly larger one. There was one smaller, so now I'm going to mark it out, and I'm going to use an angle grinder because I can't fit the jigsaw down there, at least not all the way around, because there are these walls and I don't feel like taking out the battery again. So I don't know if you've seen the TikToks with a guy who's cutting perfect round holes in stone tiles with a angle grinder and a cutting disc like that. I'm going to try it. It will probably look like shit, but alright, here we go. It felt way worse doing it than what it looks now. It actually looks half decent, in my opinion, taking that it was made with an angle grinder. But I don't know if this plan is the best, guys. The foam under here is really solid, so I'm going to hack it out with a knife and a chisel and see how far I'll get. And I don't know if the water will, if this absorbs water. I don't know, but I made it about 1 inch down, and this is wet. It's not nearly as wet as I hoped, but it's wet. You can feel it. This boat is supposed to weigh 195 kilos, but it feels so heavy. It feels so heavy. And with a 35 horsepower, an old Mercury, but anyways, and 35 horsepower, with only me in it, it only did about 20 knots. My hope is that it was properly wet. This is just moist, I think. But it's also is a little bit of distance between the cracks in the plastic in this hole. Alright, I will try to dig my way down through to the bottom and see what it looks like down there. I used a chisel to get all the foam out of there, and I used the angle grinder to make the fitment of the cover nice and tight. That actually don't look all that bad. It was a little bit a wasted time though, because the foam felt dry. It wasn't all bad though, because I've got this piece, and I've learned watching YouTube that the cheapest, I don't know if it's the best, but the cheapest way to repair ABS plastic is to use ABS slurry. And you make ABS slurry yourself with a piece of ABS plastic and acetone. You dissolve the ABS plastic in acetone and make like a paint, a little thicker paint And as you use a brush and brush it onto like these cracks, the paint runs down through the cracks and also dissolves the ABS plastic in the boat. And by doing that, you get hopefully a nice and solid repair that's going to be watertight. I don't know if the foam underneath this crack here is that filled with water. My hope was to get like 50 or 60 liters out of this boat. I won't get 50 or 60 liters out of this hole anyways, and I don't feel like cutting up this whole floor. The boat's not worth it. I'd rather go a little slower, but I've got this, and it's the perfect color match.
Spoiler alert, if you do ABS slurry, the color doesn't really transform that well.
This piece of quite beige plastic actually turned out really white. I was thinking about where to get the ABS plastic in some kind of the right color, like white or gray. This is like some sort of beige. It's been about 20 hours and I have my ABS slurry here, and as you can see there are a few lumps in it. I'm too eager to do this, so I'm not going to wait any longer. I already put on the first coat. You can see it patches up to crack pretty good all along the way here. So this is the first, you can see it still got a little bit of movement in it, but it's only the very first coat. So I'm waiting for the acetone to vapor away on this side, and I'm going to try to do it on the other side. Let's put the slurry down. Oh, yeah, as you can see here, I cleaned it up. First I used a degreaser to remove all the grease, and then I used acetone actually, and a stiff brush. And I brushed the acetone to clear up all these cracks around there. Well, the bottom edge seems fine, it's just the top edge. I'm guessing this has been worn by the sun pretty bad, and maybe cracked along the way. I don't know. And this piece ends there, new one begins there, and the corner is. But this corner has a little crack underneath as well. So I'm going to try to repair it. I'm going to use some tape and tape it up. But first I will put some ABS slurry along the edge here to use as a sort of glue, I hope, anyway. Yeah, let's try that and see how it works. Okay, so this is one side. You can see the crack still in here, but it holds up. And most importantly, it's waterproof. I like the ABS slurry. I think it's a great method to repair a boat like this. It's not, but you have to make a lot more than what I did. I ran out here along the edge, so I have to make more. I made about 150 milliliters, and that was not enough. It was quite stretch. If you look at this, it was from there to way over there that I made a repair on this side. And on the other side, I ran out as well, unfortunately. But it was from there all the way around back. You see here a little bit of the paint they put on here. I didn't bother sanding it, but you can see now it's still soft. Wait until the plastic hardens. I got the rubber here back in place. This side looks great. I'm very happy with the repair. You can see the crack down there just a little bit. Maybe I could have used a little bit more ABS slurry on this side as well, but I didn't have any more and I ran out. So the floor and the other side is not finished. I'll call it done for now. As you can see, I removed all the tape, and this side that was just totally loose before is not, and it's the plastic repair is still soft. You can see here, it misses a little bit. So I'm going to refit the rubber on this side as well, and then I am going to put on hydrofoils. I have these old hydrofoils. It's actually for a 50 horsepower engine, and this is just a 35, but I'm going to put them on there anyway, because I had a hard time getting the boat up on a plane. It took a long time, and I had to adjust the engine in a little bit. So when I'm going down at like 20 knots, it barrels the bow of the boat a little bit. It goes back into the water because, so I would like to be able to move the pin out a little bit. This does not have any sort of hydraulic adjustment like trim or tilt or anything. It's all mechanical. But I would like to be able to move it out like 1 or maybe 2 holes. I ran it like that last time. I'm going to put it back into the water and test it without the hydrofoils to see how fast I get up on a plane, and then I'm going to mount the hydrofoils to the engine and try it again. Let's see if it gives me any top speed. I doubt it. I've seen other people try them and it doesn't give you any top speed at all, probably because of the drag into the water. They're pretty big, as you can see. This is the 35 horsepower, and these are for 50 and up, it said. They were only like 20 euros, so I might as well test it. I bought them a long time ago, and I bought them for 50 horsepower actually, that I sold before I could try it on. But like that, it looks ridiculous. It's quite big on this boat, but I hope it works out. I hope it helps. So I'm going to drill the holes, and then I'm going to put the boat back into the water. I'm going to test it without the hydrofoils, and then I'm going to test it with the hydrofoils. I don't know how far forward or back this is supposed to sit, but I'm going to tuck them in as far as I can in the front and match the length of the cavitation plate in the back. So I'm just going to drill 4 holes, go through with 4 bolts, and call it a day. The hydroplanes are bolted down. I turned the screws upside down because I didn't want this sticking down into the water at full throttle with this old beast. And also I filed down the edges of the prop, giving it a, come on, focus, bastard. Yeah, I don't know if it makes any difference. Maybe I should have looked it up first, but I didn't. Anyway, let's see if it makes a difference. All right, that's where we are at the end of this episode. I was planning to make this a 3-part series, but I bought a couple of modifications to it to make it a better boat for me and my family for going fishing or just going out on the lake. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen the previous 2 episodes, you can check them out on my channel, and if you want to, you can subscribe so you see when the fourth part is coming out. So have a great time everybody, and I'll see you in the next episode.